I love my job. I hope you do too. And welcome. And again, I say welcome to the number one faith based motivational and inspirational broadcast platform in the country. And as you can tell, well, I always get excited when I have these awesome individuals stop by, just kind of hang out with us for a little bit. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks so much for having me on the show. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
oh, please. You know what? This is just the beginning. I'm so grateful that you accepted to be here. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from.
I'm Joletta Sells. I am originally from Indiana, but I'm currently living in Los Angeles, California. And I'm a songwriter, Christian songwriter, worship leader, and I also run a music school. So I do a lot of different things, but music is pretty much what I do all the time.
Ooh, you know what? I am so grateful. First of all, welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for number one being here with us today. Number two, accepting the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family. And number three, allowing us to be a part of your journey. Now, I'm just hearing about the school. I did visit the website, so I'm excited about that. And somewhere along the line, I'm going to help you provide that information to the viewers and listeners around the world as well. But of
Sure.
course, we want to talk about this current single day by day.
I did.
Oh my goodness! First of all, tell us about it. I mean, how did it come about? What's the root foundation of it, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, sure. Well, Day by Day is actually an old hymn, and I love hymns. I love the rich lyrics of a hymn, and sometimes it is fun to take those hymns and just play it in a different way. And that's what I did with this song. The lyrics were written by Carolina Sandell Berg. She is a Swedish hymn writer, and she's written over 600 hymns, and you can find a lot of her music in the hymnal. And then I just um, took her wonderful lyrics and I rearranged them a little bit, put my own music to it, made it a little bit more contemporary, a little bit more upbeat, and it turned into a really fun song that encourages me and encourages the people who listen.
Now, of course, is this an actual follow up to some previous recordings that you have presented, or is this your freshman project?
Oh no, I've done a couple albums. I've done short stories. I released that in 2016. I've done Change the Station. That was a project released in 2017. That was recognized and nominated and winner of an award with the Rhythm of Gospel organization. They've recognized that project a couple times, which I'm really grateful for. What I'm working on now is a worship album. It's called Praise, and it actually will come out in April next year. It is a full worship album that explores a variety of styles, which I love. So there's some CCM type songs on there. There will be some Southern gospel type songs, some more soul type songs, a little bit in the classical Christian world on that album. And so Day by Day is one of the songs that is on that project. And I'm going to be releasing a new song from that project every month until I release the full album. So, yeah, Day by Day is one of them. Even Then is a worship song that is so easy for your church to learn and to incorporate in your worship services. That can be found on my website. But right now we're talking about Day by Day. And it's also a song that you can incorporate in your worship services. On my website, there's a chord chart for Day by Day, so your worship band can learn it, sing it. You could sing it as a congregational song. You could sing it as a special music song, whatever works for your congregation. But it is available, and I'm excited for churches to start singing it, and just for individuals in their own worship at home.
Wow. Well, I am just honored that you are providing this type of worship to churches and, of course, the viewers and listeners around the world. Of course, if you don't know now, you know that Joletta is one of our featured artists on the GMAP Broadcast Network. You can always stop by GMAP1.com. You'll be able to click on the tab that simply says Featured Artist. You'll be able to listen to this song at your convenience as well as seeing it in our daily rotation here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. That's GMAP1.com. Don't forget, show your love, care, concern, and support. Now, as speaking of that, if someone did want to reach out and, of course, purchase a song, have it and learn it as part of their worship service, or even have it in their archives, is there a process to do so? I mean, how can they get it?
It's so easy. You can go to my website, jolettasells.com, and there is a store page on there. You can find MP3s for all my songs. You can find chord charts. You can find lead sheets. I have some songs in lead sheet and chord chart form that are previous songs I've released. I released a single a couple of years ago called Holy is the Lord, and that one has a choral arrangement. So if you have a choir, you can download that song and you can sing it with your choir. It's a really encouraging song. And yeah, you can just go to my website, jolettasells.com, and you can find all my material there. And it's so easy to just download it.
Oh my goodness, awesome! And of course, someone may, in fact, want to reach out to you, and I appreciate you sharing your website information. And I'm sure that they can stop by your website and get the necessary information in order to reach out to you. But for those that are listening right now and you don't mind sharing, how can you be connected with? How can they reach you?
Sure, I'd love to connect. You can reach me through my website. There's a way to kind of sign up for my newsletter to get updates. You could also send me an email, jolettasells@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me on Facebook at Joletta Sells Music, also on Instagram at Joletta Sells. There's all different ways you can kind of reach out, see what I'm up to. Feel free to ask me questions. Worship leading is one of my favorite things. And so if you download one of my songs and you're not quite sure about it, you want to ask some questions, just shoot me an email. I'd be happy to answer. I'd be happy to help you out. It's worship is the most important thing we do. So I'd like to help however I can.
Wow, and you know, that's a wonderful thing. You just don't see it
Yes.
and or hear it every day. And of course, I want to say this that you know there's always individuals that we in fact are encouraging and motivating. In some sense, you may in fact be a role model to someone somewhere. As a matter of fact, I know you are. We're always role models to someone, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Someone is always paying attention and watching our every step. And for an individual that may, in fact, be watching your every step in your journey today, saying to themselves, I wonder how I can get on track. I wonder how I can do what it is that I have a passion to do, a dream to do. Joletta has done it. She's following her passion and dreams. I wonder what I need to do. What would be your words of encouragement for an individual such as that today?
Oh my goodness. I would just, I would say, first of all, just start with scripture, start with prayer, start with following the Lord. You know, this wasn't something that I set out to do, to be honest. It wasn't something that when I was a kid, I wanted to always do Christian music. This was something I kind of walked into after a life hardship, and I just wanted healing. I wanted to know God more, and now I'm doing things that I never imagined for myself. And but it's been an incredible journey, and I'm just so thankful for how God is using me and how He will use me in the future. And so, whatever God has for you, just start with daily worship. obedience, learning the scriptures, getting it into your heart, because that's what's going to help you know what doors to take, what steps to take, what doors will open. And, regardless of what, sometimes people, um, we can make such a difference in other people's lives in ways that seem kind of small, but they're actually very big for that person. And so just keep walking with God, and He'll make all of these things absolutely clear to you, and He'll make your path straight.
No.
And that's what I can say to
Well,
encourage you.
well, I always say, whether people know it or not, realize it or not, like it or not, your destiny was determined before your delivery.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely. Yeah.
a lot of the things that we go through, we may not, or sometimes we just won't understand. But
Mm-hmm.
the things you go through, the trials, tribulations, setbacks, downfalls, doubt, fear, anger, gossip, all that stuff, you know what? It's a part of the process. You
It is.
have to be willing to embrace the process. I mean, let's look at reality. Look at the process that Jesus went through. Many of us can't handle it, but the ultimate goal, and I like what the songwriter said, that's not how the story ends. And
Mm-hmm.
whoa, my don't I'll shout, don't you? I'll so I want to get back to those individuals that you may in fact be a role model to. Look at reality and say, well, what if they knock on your tap on your shoulder and say, I really appreciate what you've done over the years. I kind of know where you've been, where you are today, but what's next for Joletta Sales? What would your response be to that?
I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Whatever God has for me is what God has for me, and that's the best thing I can be doing. So I'm just going to keep leading worship at churches. I'm going to keep writing songs. I'm going to keep recording music. I'm going to keep making music available, new songs, new hymns for churches that are scripturally based and where the melodies are nice, and I'm going to make that available as much as I can. Um, I also have a wonderful son, and I'm going to keep being his mom, and I'm going to keep loving that role that I have. And I'm just going to walk with faith that, God has my days, and He knows how I need to spend them. And so, whatever He has for me, that's what I'm going to do.
Wow. And well, that's so important. And you're not putting aside your priorities and responsibilities. You're doing
Mm-hmm.
what you have been called to do. And one thing I always say, people are called to do a number of things. But how do you know you've been called? And my response to that always is, you'll begin to be the call. You
Mm,
won't just accept being called, but you'll be that call. You don't have to go out and publicly wait on somebody to lay their hands on you or
yeah.
accept you or anything like that. You'll just begin to walk different and talk
Yeah.
different and go different. Don't see, I don't mind shouting. I just want you to know that I don't mind shouting. So it's important that you have answered the call. You've been
Yeah.
called to do certain things in your life, but not only did you accept being called, you began to be that call. And I, as well as many people around the world, truly, truly appreciate that. And of
Mhm.
course, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, she is one of our featured artists on the GMAP Broadcast Network. She'll be there for quite some time. I want you to know something. You have my number, and we want to continue to be a very important part of your journey. If there's anything that we can do to continue to assist you, please pick up the phone, call, text, chat, tweet, whatever you do. Make sure you reach out to us to keep us informed. We're definitely going to be inviting you back. And I want you to know that the answer will always be yes, and you will never, ever have to ask us twice. We really appreciate you. We're going to make sure that we provide this information on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and our television network and platform. Anything that we can do, we're going to make sure that we try our very best to get it done. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move over before I let you go. And then, of course, I'm going to bless the people with your song again, Day by Day.
Yeah.
I'm going to move over and allow you to share with our viewers and listeners what's on your heart. And what that means is simply share what God has placed on your heart that you believe in your spirit is necessary for them to hear, receive, and know. I'm moving over, and Joletta Sells, the floor is yours.
Oh my goodness. You know, one thing I've been praying about a lot is revival. And the hymn writer who wrote Day by Day, Carolina Sandelberg, many of her hymns ignited a revival that spread through her country, Scandinavia, or Scandinavian revival. And I would encourage us all to pray and to do what we can to seek revival for our country, for individuals, for their own hearts to be revived, strengthened in the things of God, the real things, things that matter, things that are important for the kingdom, to not be wasting time or energy or resources on things that don't matter. And, you know, people's hearts matter. And I would just encourage you to just join me in prayer for revival for this land, and that our churches, you know, especially kind of coming out of a COVID season, many of our churches were kind of shut down for a while. And I just wonder what God could do, you know, if we are living for Him, and if our churches are, you know, teaching the truth and encouraging people and strengthening them and discipling them, like what could happen. I pray for that all the time, and I just might ask and encourage that you join me in that prayer, and let's see what God will do.
Well, to piggyback off of that, I want everyone that is out there listening today, for those that may not be following the appropriate direction, but yet are trying to live that life, I want you to know that He said in His word, when I return, I will get those things in order. Make sure you understand that. Try your best. We all have to live by this thing called faith. And I always tell people, when Jesus took that long journey down that road of Golgotha, were you there? When Jesus was getting beat and spit on, were you there? When Jesus had to listen to millions of people hollering, "Crucify Him," were you there? The bottom line and the moral to it all is you have to step up and step out on that thing called faith. And if you have any problem understanding that, just take the first letter in each word. For all, I trust Him. Hold on to it and live your life accordingly. We thank you so much for being here. We will be inviting you back. You are a blessing to many people around the world. I'll reach out to you and let you know and inform you what we will do beyond this point. But we're going to continue to air your single day by day on our platform. We're going to continue to try our very best to inform the viewers and listeners around the world to love, support, motivate, encourage others, as well as encourage themselves to do what you're doing. We thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we want you to continue to be blessed and be a blessing to others, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Here it is, day by day, right here on the number one faith based motivational and inspirational broadcast platform in the country, and GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. You have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we shall talk to you soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you so much.